The olive leaf extract can help detox your body in just 7 days. It's like magic, but better because it's real and it gives real results. And I know this because I personally use it. The olive leaf extract can help lower your blood pressure, clear eczema, and fight against autoimmune diseases and so much more. Now, I want you to do something good for your health and just visit their website at www.myoliveleaf.biz. The link is located below in the description box as well as in the comments.
Why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down? Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
Okay, winos, welcome. All right, we have a major exclusive here, okay? You probably have never seen her before, all right, except for one time recently. And Miss Virginia V here uploaded a video of her and Diddy the mogul.
Yes.
Okay, so welcome to the A.
Thank you for having me.
We got you all the way in from Las Vegas.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm so honored that you're sitting down with me. Now, before we get into everything, I want to say that Virginia has never, ever done an interview. Okay. So I want you to be patient with her. All right. She has a valid reason as to why she's, telling her story, because when we spoke the other night after the video went up and it went viral, everyone was shocked, like, whoa, Diddy has a new girlfriend, has a new boo. You guys were like tongue kissing and there were some photos, and I know you got hella followers from that, because when Shade Room got it, it was over. Mm-hmm. Once they get it, it's over.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I want to start from the beginning, okay? Because we discussed a lot over the phone. Mm-hmm. Some very, very intimate details and things that just kind of made me go, wow, okay, about the specifics of you and Diddy's relationship. So I want to start from the beginning, okay?
Okay.
How long have you known Diddy?
I've known him for 5 years.
5 years. And
yes.
Do you mind telling me what year did you meet him?
I met him February 2014. Well, technically, the very first time I met him was September 2013, because I was at a fight in Vegas and I went to the Palms and he was hosting there. So I kind of met him there, but he says he remembered it vaguely. And then 5 months later, I ran into him again in Miami, February 2014. So that's when we officially met, I guess.
And what was that encounter like? When you met him and you remember him, but he didn't remember you. Of course, everybody remembers Diddy. It's
yeah.
Diddy.
Well, I think he saw me, and then he was like, this was at the Palms. He saw me and he asked who was I with, and I pointed to the guy I was with, and he kind of left me alone after that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So nothing really transpired during that meeting in Miami?
No.
Okay.
Nothing. So, no. In Vegas.
In Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was trying to holler in Vegas.
Yes.
Okay.
And but then I told him I was with another man, so he kind of left me alone. But then I ran into him again February 2014.
Okay. And this was in Miami?
In Miami.
All right. And so what was that conversation like in Miami when you guys met up again for the second time and you weren't with a man? I don't
think when we met in Miami, I don't think he remembered me from Vegas.
Okay.
He doesn't remember that.
Okay.
Until I told him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did he say? It was like serendipity or something?
He said he remembers it vaguely, but not really. So, but I don't know. I was with a friend. I was visiting a friend in Miami. She had moved to Miami from Nebraska, and I was visiting her. And we went out the night before I met him, so we were out all night. And me and her, we were with a couple of guys, and they were like, "Let's go to Puffy's house." So we were just like, okay, whatever. It was 9 a.m.
Wow,
we were
Puffy's house at 9 a.m?
I mean, no one was there, but he was up too, though.
Okay.
And so we went to his house at 9 a.m. And when I first walked in, I'm very a chill person.
I can tell.
And so Like I could walk into a White House and still be chill, but like inside I'm like screaming, oh my God. But when I came to his house, obviously I was kind of like, I don't know, guess like starstruck in a way, because I'm from Nebraska, so I'm not around none of this. So, but I'm chill though. And he came, so when I came, he was like, you not happy to see me? Oh. You at Diddy's house, that mean you made it.
The cockiness.
Yeah.
Okay, Diddy.
I was like, but yeah, that's.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 21.
21.
Or 22.
Okay. And you're how old now?
I'm 27.
Okay.
Maybe 22.
So a long time. Yeah. These dates are crossing over. We'll get into that in a second, okay? We're going to get messy in a second, all right? So you're at the house, you meet Diddy. So obviously he made you feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. Of course, we've seen it. Diddy seems to be this like very just kind of inspirational, always just kind of over the top, DJ Khaled kind of personality. Mm-hmm. And so I take it did you guys like hit it off during that initial encounter at his house, or did it take some time?
No, not really. We were there probably for like an hour, I say. And he was talking to the guys that we were with. Okay. They were artists, so like they knew each other. Okay. So he was like talking to them most of the time. And then by the time we left, I had already gotten the car. And then he like walked over to the car and asked for my number. Oh. And so I gave it to him.
How'd that make you feel? Diddy asking for your number?
It made me feel... I don't know. It made me feel good, kind of, I guess.
Really? You didn't see him as like this old pervert asking for
No, not at all.
I know, because I see a 50-year-old dude. I'm like, at your age?
I mean, I knew he was older than me, but I've always hung out with older people in general, so it didn't make me... Yeah, it didn't bother me.
Okay. Now, from that time of you meeting him and you give him your number... Mm-hmm. How long did it take before you guys actually made it official? Well, you made it official, but he was off, of course, doing other things, the way these dates are kind of lining up.
We never okay, let's be official. We never ever had that conversation. We just kind of knew, like we just felt like we were together.
Okay. So you spent a lot of time together.
We did.
Okay. So you were at the house. Did you meet his kids? Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Now, when we spoke the other night, you said that things had gotten so serious that you became pregnant. Not once, but twice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When was the first time you became pregnant with Diddy's child?
The first time was October 2014.
Okay. So this was like, what, a year after?
No, not a year, but because I met him in February and then I got pregnant in October.
Oh, so the same year.
The same year.
Okay. And you mind telling me what happened with that pregnancy?
I told him, and he was like, you're going to get an abortion, right? And then I was like, I don't know. I don't know yet. And then he offered me $50,000 to get rid of it, but I turned it down because I just loved him, and I was like trying to prove that I wasn't the girl that was wanted him for money. Okay. I just care about him, and I just wanted him to be nice to me. That's it. I was like, I don't want your money. I just want you to be nice to me.
Whether you decide to keep the baby or not. Mm-hmm. So would it be fair to say that he was an asshole about it? I mean, offering somebody $50,000 to abort a baby, whew, he must really want it gone bad.
I mean, in the beginning, like the first 3.5 years, he was... I mean, like the first 4 months, he was really nice. But then after that, he started being an asshole. So like I say, like the first 3.5 years, he was like mean to me.
So when you say mean, describe it.
He was abusive. He was like always belittling me and always like, he was like mentally, emotionally, and physically abusing me.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time we've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
There was an incident, of course, with Cassie, where reporters are saying that the police were called because they got into an altercation. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me some of the things that he would say to you.
He would always compare me to Cassie and tell me that I'm the bad one and she's the good one.
And he was with both of you guys at the same time.
Yeah. And at one point, like I was breaking out really bad with acne, and he would be like, he said this a few times to me. He was like, baby, why don't you go see a doctor or something? I don't date women with bumps on their face.
Oh.
Yeah, he would say that to me.
Take a drink. Relax. Okay? I can tell this is bringing up a lot. We have some tissues. Thank you, Jasmine. Okay. So, of course, that is very, humiliating, especially when you love someone and they tell you that you're not good enough for them.
Mm-hmm. He would like call me names like, he would call me a hoe every single day.
A hoe?
Yeah.
Why would he call you? Not that he had a reason, but like in his mind, what do you think prompted him to call you a hoe?
Now that I think about it, I think...
Oh, okay. Hold on. We're getting to use some tissue. I don't want you messing up your makeup, okay? You look gorgeous, okay?
Thinking back now, I think he did it because he wanted me to feel low about myself, like, so that I stick around him, because like no one would I don't know, I just feel like he'd try to I was naive and young when I met him, so I feel like he tried to take advantage of that and manipulate me. Mm-hmm. It made me feel low about myself.
Mm. Now let's talk about the physical abuse. If you're okay, are you okay with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So obviously you terminated baby one because you loved him. Mm-hmm. How long after you guys started dating is when did the physical abuse start?
The first time it ever happened, which was not even like that long into the relationship, because I met him in February, and then it was probably like the beginning of May, because we were at Meek's Mill's birthday.
Okay.
He had like a mansion party, and we went, but while we were there, I was sitting here, and then Puff, and then Meek, but I was like covered with like a stand or something, like probably says like happy birthday Meek or something like that, but it's like a little stand that like was covering me, because there was like a lot of cameras and stuff there. So it was like me, Puff, and Meek. Puff had like leaned forward to like talk to somebody, say hi or whatever, and so I turned over to Meek and I said happy birthday. He put his hand out and then he was like thank you, so I reached his hand and shook it. And as I shook Meek's hand, he turned around and saw it, and he got so mad.
Wow.
And then we probably like stayed like 20 minutes after that happened. And then when we got in the car, he like grabbed my hair. We were in the one of those Escalade trucks. Okay. So I was sitting on this side, he was on the other side, and he like grabbed my hair and like cussed me out. for doing that. He was like, why the fuck, can I cuss?
Yeah.
Oh, he was like, why the fuck you shaking his hand for, like, just saying
So
stuff
it
like
was
that. I
just
was
like
like,
a jealous rage.
yeah, I was like, I was just saying happy birthday, nothing else. I think he thought I was trying to be sneaky behind his back because I like reached over when he like leaned forward to talk to somebody else. So he thought I was trying to be sneaky.
And you were how old at this time?
I was 22 probably.
Wow. Okay.
And then he did this, so King Los was sitting in the back.
Okay.
And then when we got to the hotel, it got even worse. And he took one of my heels and tried to throw it at me, and then he like mushed my face and like really hard and made my nose bleed.
Wow.
And the only person that every time me and he like we get into like fights like that, the only person that ever helped me was D-Rock. Everyone else just kind of just allowed it to happen and just like looked the other way.
So most of his entourage were, I guess, enablers.
Like his staff.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
And they wouldn't say anything. They would just watch him.
No, not watch it, but kind of just walk away and just leave us alone and not really step in to stop.
Wow. Now, what made you stay? Because obviously there's baby number 2, and then there's more beatings, according to you, that happened after that, because that was just the first time. What made you stay?
Because I just thought, that he was only being like that because he loved me.
Get you a tissue. I don't want you messing up your makeup, okay? I'm sure you've shed enough tears about this, so.
Because, I mean, I grew up watching my mom get beat by my dad, so that's all I knew. So I just thought it was normal, and I thought it just mean he loved me.
Do you know most domestic abuse victims don't talk about their abuse? They're ashamed of it. They feel like as if they've done something to deserve it.
Yeah, I felt that.
Let's talk about baby 2. When did baby 2 come?
Last year in August.
So talk about that conversation. You're pregnant, you tell him, and this is obviously after 6 years of you guys being together.
And mind you, it wasn't my fault that I got pregnant. I told him, because I have like this period app and it tells me when I'm ovulating and stuff. So I told him that I'm ovulating, so don't do it. But he just did it anyway, and then I got pregnant, and he like, okay, just get an abortion, like no hesitation. But this time was harder for me because I had been with him for so long, and I was like really in love with him, and part of me wanted to keep it, but he didn't want it. So we had agreed to get it, but I only agreed to it because he told me to. And then we went to Turks and Caicos like a couple days later, and during that time he was like giving me drinks, like alcohol, like giving me drinks to drink, and I was just like, I'm not comfortable. He was like, you're gonna get an abortion anyways. And but he was like kind of being distant towards me during the whole trip. And when we came back, he had like, when we came back on Sunday, because we were there for a whole week, we were gonna do it that next day, Monday. So when we came back from Turks on Sunday, he had like left me to go meet up with Cassie. So he kind of just left me there for like half the day. And I was like, how are you gonna leave me when you want me to do this thing tomorrow? And he was just like obviously making excuses why he had to go.
And this was just last year.
So because he left on Sunday, I was like, I'm not doing this tomorrow. Like, I need some time to think. And so I told him that. I was like, I need time to think about it some more. Like, I'm not comfortable. And he was like, well, then you can get out my house. Like, he just being mean to me. He was like, I did this and this and this for you, and now you're not gonna, you told me you was gonna do it, and now you're not doing it anymore. Like, you could get out my house.
Wow, that's a lot to go through. I just couldn't imagine being like forced to get rid of a child, you know, especially if I'm under the impression that I made this child out of love. Like,
and not only that, when I had the second abortion, I had to go home I had to go home 2 days later because he had to go on a trip to Burning Man.
To Burning Man?
To Burning Man, which is in Nevada. It's like a festival in the desert.
Okay.
So I had to go through that. And then he went to Burning Man and he just left me like fucked up. He didn't because you don't have service in Burning Man because it's just a desert. So I couldn't get a hold of him, or like he can't, or his texts weren't coming through. But like I was just at home by myself, just fucked up in my head, and he didn't even care. Like, if it was me, I mean, it was like if he had to do something traumatic like that for me, like I wouldn't just leave him and go on a trip.
Mm-hmm. Anything could have happened to you and you couldn't get in contact with him.
Yeah, I did that, and then he goes and leave me.